In this video, we're going to go through how to edit your video in DaVinci Resolve, which is a super powerful editor that's been used for Hollywood movies like Black Widow and Dune and John Wick 3. And the editor is even free. For once, free doesn't mean bad. It has a ton of powerful tools all in one place. And the reason it's free is that the company that makes it, Blackmagic Design, actually sells expensive hardware to movie studios. But we don't have to buy their hardware. We can just use the software. The link is in the video description. Just grab the one for your platform. Whether you're on Windows or Mac or Linux, there is a DaVinci Resolve for you. By the way, I'm Dave from Recut, and I help creators like you get faster at video editing. Let's get into it. So we're going to open up DaVinci Resolve, and we'll get this empty screen here, and we can click on New Project and give it a name. And it drops us here with all of these scary buttons. And we're going to look down along the bottom here where there are these different tabs. So we're in the Cut tab right now. We're going to click over this other one called Edit. Then we'll go over to our folder where we have our footage and drag that in to this Media Pool column there. And the first thing we're going to have to do is change the project frame rate to match the video that we just dragged in. So we just want to click Change here. It says we can't undo this. That's fine. We just need the timeline frame rate to match the video frame rate. So now we can drag this into our timeline down here. And this has created a new timeline for us. And we're going to be chopping it up based on the audio waveform. But the audio waveform looks really tiny right here. So we can actually click and drag right around here to make this bigger. So it'll just be easier to see where those cuts are going to be. And the goal is to skim through and cut out all the parts where the audio waveform is flat. Because when I recorded this, I tried to leave pauses between the takes. And if you want to learn how to record so that editing is easier, I'll link this video. Actually, the one we're editing right now is going to be all about how to record for the edit. So let's go through and chop this up. We're going to select the clip. So we're going to go to where we want to make a cut, like right before here. And you can see once we hit the audio, you'll hear it, and also you'll see this little audio thing spike up. So I'll go right before that waveform and hit Command B to make a cut right there. Now I want to delete this section here. And if we just hit backspace, we're going to end up leaving this big gap. So let me undo that with Command Z or Control Z on Windows. And I'll select it again. And this time I'm going to hit Shift backspace. And that's going to ripple delete the clip, which basically means it deletes it and then shifts everything to the left to close the gap. And that's what we're going to do throughout this clip here, basically just removing all the gaps. So I'll hit play.
Filming videos
That's
is
kind of
pretty
slow.
intimidating,
So I can actually hit L to play at 2x speed.
especially when you're getting started. And then you know you're going to have to...
And then I screwed up. So I'm just going to zoom out here and come over to the second attempt.
Filming videos is pretty intimidating. And then you know you're going to have to edit all that footage, which makes the filming even scarier, which tenses you up, which causes you to make more mistakes.
And I think this was the one that actually worked. So I'm going to keep this chunk here, but remove everything before it. So we're going to go to about here, select this, ripple delete, oops, nope, click this, Command B, ripple delete that section, and click it again.
Filming videos is pretty intimidating.
I don't like this long pause here, so I'll hit Command B, drag this over to the next section. And when we hit Command B, it only cuts the selected clip. So we have to click on this clip first, make sure it's red, and then hit Command B. Now we can hit Shift backspace and ripple delete.
Intimidating. And then you know you're going to have to edit all that footage.
This one also is kind of a long pause, so I'll get rid of this pause here. Click this one, Command B, ripple delete.
Which makes the filming even scarier.
And there's an even faster way to do this. Instead of hitting Command B to make a cut first, we can actually hit Shift, Command, and left bracket, and it will delete backwards to the previous cut. So let's try that a few more times.
Which tenses you up.
So we'll make a cut for the left side, select the clip, move it where we want to make the second cut, Shift, Command, left bracket.
Which causes you to make more mistakes.
Command B, over here, click, Shift, Command, left bracket.
Which tenses you up even more.
Command B, click, move over, Shift, Command, left bracket.
And it's just a terrible cycle.
So you can see how this is going to go. I'm not going to make you watch me cut up this whole video. So I'm going to power through the rest of this, and I will see you in a second. Okay, and we're done. Half an hour or so. And at some point I managed to set these in and out points, and that might affect how we export. If anything, you probably want to have it clamped to the beginning and the end, or maybe just clear these things. So I'm going to go up to mark and hit clear in and out, and that'll just kind of reset it. And I think it'll just export from the beginning to the end. So now we can click on this little launch rocket thingy, and here's our export screen. I'm going to be exporting to YouTube, so I'm just going to click on YouTube. Then I'll give it a file name. I will drop it in the folder that I've been using for this thing. So I've got one folder with all the stuff for this project. And I shot this in 1080p. I'm just going to leave the resolution at 1920 by 1080. And I'll leave the rest of the settings alone. I probably could upload it directly to YouTube, but then I've got to log in, and I'd kind of rather have control over it inside the YouTube interface. So I'm going to leave that alone. Hit add to render queue. And there it is. Now we just click render all. 23 seconds later, we've got our exported video, and it's in the same folder. And here it is. Wow, that looks terrible. I'm gonna need to pick a different thumbnail.